Shalom. This is the Haftara for the Parashat of Metzorah. Tzara'at. Sounds like tsa'ar, but it was something called leprosy. In biblical times, we were much more spiritually connected to God and far more spiritually sensitive. And as a response to someone talking lashon hara, slanderous, truthful yet hurtful about another person, that we had the privilege of getting leprosy on our skin, and that this leprosy was a warning signal to cease and desist the talking of lashon hara about other people. So the men of the Great Assembly went out to find something in the books of the prophets that connected to the Torah reading that we just did this week. And they found a story from the book of Kings. In the book of Kings, you have this man named Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet, and then his successor, Elisha. And it talks about these great miracles that Elisha did. And Elisha had an assistant. His name was Gehazi. And Gehazi was punished with Tzara'at, with his 4 sons. Why? Because when Elisha performed a miracle on Naaman, this man, non-Jew, Gentile, that asked him to save him from his tzara'at, well, Naaman insisted on compensating Elisha. But Elisha said, no thank you, I don't want anything. However, guess who? Gehazi shook down this man, Naaman. And as a response to it, midah keneged midah, or translated measure for measure, or eye for an eye, you have this man that is now sitting outside in Samaria, the city walls. Gehazi and his 4 sons. And they're being sieged by the Arameans. And the Arameans, or the Syrians, these men were starving out the Israelites in the walled city of Samaria. And these men, because they had tzara'at, these 5 of them were sitting outside the city walls. There's no food. They're down to 5 horses. What's gonna be? So these guys start telling themselves, listen, if we just sit here, we're just dead ducks. There's no way that we're gonna make it. Let's go for it. Let's go for the other camp. Let's go to the Aramean camp. And when we get there, let's see if we could get some food out of them so we don't starve to death. If we stay here, we're dead men. Something like they move the cheese. Let's go to where the cheese is. So now, they go. And they come to the camp of the Arameans. And guess what? It's deserted. The fires are still burning. The animals are still tied up. The coffee is still boiling in the pot. But there's nobody there. And they're like, this is a setup. We know, militaristically, they tricked us. They want to evacuate the city, that we'll come in, and then they'll surround us and kill all of us. Well, guess what? We're not going to fall for it, these men said. But while we're here, let's look in the first tent. And they look in the first tent, and they see food, they see money, clothing, everything except people. So, they take some food to eat, they take an animal or 2 with them, and they say, wow, we're getting away with this. And they go on, and they go on, and after a while, they say, you know something? This is not right. We better go back to our camp. These people are suffering. They're starving. Why should we eat and them not? If we continue to do so, there's something wrong with us. We have to look after our brethren. So they go back, and they tell the man at the gate what's going on, and they go inside, and they ask the king to wake up in the middle of the night, and they say, Your Excellency, we have some very good news for you. There are no more Arameans surrounding us. Let's go take from their food and eat. He goes, whoa, hold on. I'm not sending everybody in there. What if it's a setup? They go, no, it's not a setup. We checked it out. Because I'm the king. I make sure. So they had 5 horses left. He was willing to risk 2 men on horse to go into the camp. They go to the camp, they check out the place, the soldiers, and sure enough, coast is clear. God had made a miracle, and at the Aramean camp, the Syrians thought they heard the horses thundering from the Egyptians and the Hittites that were their enemies, and they ran for the hills. So, now what? The king says, it's okay to send your men, to send the people of the city of Samaria out into the camp of the Arameans to go take food and take whatever valuables that they see over there. Now there was this doubting man. He was the Shalish. Sounds like Shalosh. Could be the 3rd man in the king's chariot. Could be the 2nd in command. And he was not of the believers of Elisha. He doubted Elisha. And Elisha had made a prophecy before, in the chapter or 2 before this Haftara. And Elisha said, listen, tomorrow bread is going to be half a shekel. It says that a donkey's head was costing, 80 shekels when the famine was going on. There was nothing to eat. So this man, the Shalish, doubted him. Sure enough, when the king let all the people out, and he said, I'm telling you, it's going to be half a shekel. He goes, no, it's not. So he says, oh, really? Over my dead body, this Shalish says. Yeah, you'll see. So Elisha says, guess what? It will be over your dead body, because you will see tomorrow it'll be half a shekel. And as it turns out, that they trampled him, the people of the city, by accident, on their way out to go get the food that was free and trading for half a shekel the next day. Now what do you learn over here? This mitzvah, this commandment about Lashon Hara, slander. It's a horrible thing. First of all, just on a practical level, if you ever talk about anybody else, make pretend that that person is standing right in front of you. Lashon Hara, everybody's saying, don't talk Lashon Hara, it leads to longer days, arichat yamim. Make sure you don't talk, make sure you don't listen. Also on an energetic level, when you're talking negative, anger, bad things about other people, it flows through you and your energy goes down. It's not good to resonate with saying bad things about other people. It's not healthy. See what happens when all you do is have compassion instead of being judgmental, and that you include people and see what the connection is with people, instead of being divisive and saying, I'm better than they are, they're wrong, I'm right, I'm this, you're not. Bad idea. It's not the Jewish way of thinking. It's not the moral way of thinking. It's not the human way of thinking. God wants achdut. God wants oneness. And it is up to us to have that intention, to see the commonality. That's not a word. To see what's common with other people, and to see that we're a pair. We should be prepared, P-A-I-R-E-D, that we go together and not single, divisive people. Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy the Haftorah.